Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money back. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 9 over-unders. Let's get this money. It's been a fun year with the totals. Like I said, it goes under the radar, but we keep cashing. We keep winning. Let's get to the Thursday night game. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Over, under 36.5. I'm going under, but I want no piece of this. But both of these teams, listen, man, you got two pretty good defenses, and you got two offenses who don't have good quarterback play calling, and explosive plays. Like, I know the Titans had a great game last week against a good Atlanta defense, but I'm holding off. And when you add in the Thursday night, we know what Thursday night brings. Sloppy football, lots of penalties, lack of rhythm. I'm going under the 36.5. Please do not bet this game. Next game, we're going to Europe. We got the Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. Over, under 50.5. Money. I'm going over. Listen, this isn't a money, take it to the bank, pawn the wife's wedding ring type pick. But I feel like we need to throw a few chips on this. Now, let's get to this game. You got a Chiefs offense. By their high and lofty standards, they've been struggling this year. I don't think there's any way for me to frame it. And I know we got this Miami Dolphins defense, and I feel like that's the perfect get-right recipe for Mahomes. Now, you do worry about both teams going to Europe. How does that affect rhythm? How is the surface of the field going to be? Those are things we just don't know at this point. But on this Dolphins offense, I think they're going to have themselves a big game. And I know this Dolphins team, they've been winning us money this whole year. But I know they've been here, and you guys don't show up in the big situation against the good teams. I think Dolphins show up, but I also think this Chiefs team is going to come in scratching and fighting. I'm going over the 50.5. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Atlanta Falcons. Over, under 37.5. I'm going over. I know 85% of the bets will be on this to go under, and I understand why. You got a rookie from BYU playing quarterback. Vikings pick up Josh Dobbs this week. Hope Kirk gets right fast. But, man, listen, I think this Heineke addition to the Falcons offense is going to help. I think it's going to be better from a rhythmic standpoint. We know we're going to get turnovers with Heineke, but I think this Falcons offense plays a hell of a lot better. And this Vikings defense, they're playing really good ball. I still think the Falcons offense can have a damn good day, but I'm also looking at the other side. Listen, I would not underestimate the Vikings play calling and creativity, and I would not underestimate the graft and willingness to fight from this Vikings team. I don't think this offense lays down. I don't think they have a 10-point outing. Do I think they get to 20? Probably not, but I do think they're able to get to 17, just barely push this towards over. I know everyone's on the under. Next game, we got the Arizona Cards at the Cleveland Browns. Over, under 37.5. I'm going under. It looks like Clayton Tune's playing, correct? Kyler is practicing in full, and if he's in the game, I would probably change my opinion, but I'm going under. This Browns defense, they just, listen, the score line doesn't tell the whole story in those Colts and Seahawks games, but I think the Browns defense completely controls this game, and I think Clayton Tune throws 3 or 4 picks, and I think he gets hit 9 or 10 times. And this Browns offense, we know this Browns offense, it doesn't bring anything good. It doesn't bring anything special. And one thing about this Cardinals defense, they're really, really good in the first half. And then as they get tired, as they spend so many drives out on the field in the second half, that's when they will. But I'm going under the 37.5. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills. Allen at The Cincinnati Bengals over under 49 and a half. Money, money, money. Money. I'm going under. Surprise under here. Now listen. I don't think this Bills offense is all that good, and I've been saying that since week 1 this year, so I'm not Johnny-come-lately with this. And you look at, you bring in Kincaid, Dawson Knox, none of those guys were really what they needed, and I just feel like this receiving core isn't all that great for the Bills. And when you look at the Bengals defense, I know they lose Jesse Bates during the offseason, but does anyone fight harder than this Bengals defense? And I love the way they're coached. I love the way they play physical. So I think this Bengals defense has a say, and I think they dictate the rules in this game. On the other side, I know I told you 4 weeks ago Burrow was coming back, and we've made money betting it. But I do think this Bengals offense is a little bit slower than last year. We're not seeing the big pop explosive play. So I think this is a playoff type game. I think it's going to be very, very competitive. And I think the Bills defense will have more answers than they did last year in the playoffs. I'm going under, making a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Baltimore Ravens. Hawks. Over, under, 44, over. I almost forgot. I was thinking of 5.5 on the spread, but I'm going over the 44. I think this is a competitive game, and like I've been saying all week, I think this comes down to the last drive, and I think this comes down to which quarterback makes more plays in the fourth quarter. When you get situations, when you get tight games like that, these games tend to push over. Also, I'm not as high on the Seahawks defense as everyone, and I'm not as high on the Ravens defense as everyone. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to fade both of those outcomes, and I'm looking at this, man. I think Geno Smith needs to play better this game, and that's one story that's been going under the radar, so to speak, not getting a lot of attention. Geno has left a lot of big plays on the table. I think he plays better this game. I'm going over the 44, and we know Lamar Jackson's going to make his 4 or 5 magnificent plays that lead to points over the 44. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers. Over, under, 38 and a half. Money, money, money. Money. Over. But listen, it comes with a stipulation. Matt Stafford needs to play. I think it's rather obvious we need him to play. If Matt Stafford is playing, I think this is a good bet. And listen, we know this Packers offense is terrible. We know Jordan Love has played very low caliber type football this year. But we got to calm down and we got to understand, like, this is the Rams defense. The Packers will have more opportunities. I think the Packers will have a better run game than they did against Minnesota. But also, this Packers defense, they look great on paper. Like I've been saying all year, you play Madden and you got a bunch of 87s overall. Rashawn Gary's tearing everyone up. But in real life, it just seems like they fade in and out of games. They lose interest far too easy. And I think this Rams offense is due, man. One thing people haven't paid enough attention on is how McVay just has kind of let this season completely burn up and fade out. I think the Rams come back with a Renaissance Alamo type performance. I think they get into the 20s. I'm going over, making a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Bucs at the Houston Texans. Over, under, 40. I'm going under. I see like a 2017 game. I think it's normal Texan style, and this Bucs team is the reason why it's going under. I respect their defense, and I think Stroud will make plays, but he's not going to throw it around for 400 against this defense. But this Bucs offense, they just can't get out of their own way. And when we talk about situation football, I don't know if there's a worse offense in the league than the Bucs. especially when we're talking first down. It seems like every first down they slam it up the middle, lose a yard, then it's 2nd and 11, and Baker hasn't even been that bad this year. But I think with him banged up, a Texans defense needing a response, I absolutely love this under. It's a borderline money pick, this under. You just don't want this game to spiral out of control from the Bucs, because I do feel like there's a possibility the Bucs just don't show up for this game, and you know how that goes. It could go over really easy, but I'm going under the 40, borderline money pick. Next game, we got the Washington no-names at the New England Patriots. Over, under 40.5. I'm going over. Sam Howell's been playing, man, and it hasn't been pretty. No, but he is taking chances. He is throwing the ball down the field, and I think this Pats defense has a ton of vulnerabilities. And Sam Howell will cough up turnovers, but Matt Jones will as well. Turnovers equal points. That's the big reason why I got this going over the 40.5. And you take out 2 starting defensive linemen from the Commanders, that has to open up things a little bit more for the Pats, right? We know the Pats can't block anyone, but Matt Jones has at least been throwing it a little bit better. I'm going over the 40.5. I'm not touching this game in any shape or fashion. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears, the Bears at the New Orleans Saints. Over, under 41. I'm going under. I went back and forth, man. And listen, I don't think we're going to see a big showing from the Bears offense, and it doesn't look like Fields will play. If Fields was playing, this is an over money pick, take it to the bank. But without Fields playing, you just don't know if you're going to get enough quarterback play, enough offense from the Bears. Last week, we saw the Saints come back and play better ball on offense, and it was about time. Carr had a good game. I'm going under, man. We just don't get enough information about this Bears offense. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Carolina Panthers. Over, under 44. Money, money, money. Money. I'm going over. And this Colts defense, they've really just evolved. And I don't know if they're losing interest. Their best defensive tackle gets suspended, and then this defense just seems to spiral out of control. And yes, the Panthers defense had themselves a day last week. Credit to them what they did against the Texans. But the Panthers have been an over machine this year, not because they score a lot of points on offense, but because their defense can't stop anyone. And when you got Steichen, when you got Minshew, I just don't think the Colts are going to struggle to move the ball this game. But it also looks like this Panthers offense is getting better. I think one team, I see like a 27-23 type game. I'm going over, make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Las Vegas Raiders. Over, under 37. I'm going over. I know. This has all the fundamentals of an under. But I do think the new coach bounds with Pierce. I think it's going to rejuvenate the Raiders. I think they go over. I think they can get into the 20s here. Now, Aiden O'Connell, when he played against the Chargers, man, it was bad. He took like 8-9 sacks. I think he fumbled it 1 or 2 times. It was really ugly. But he also showed signs. He also showed signs like he can put the ball in tight spaces, and he's not afraid to throw it deep. And I think that's what you need to do against this rugged, aggressive man-to-man defense of the Giants. And also, you get Daniel Jones back. And this Raiders defense has played pretty good all year, but we all know you can move the ball on them if you play disciplined offensive football. Danny Jones coming back. Raiders surprise on offense. I really like this over 37. Next game, we're going to the NFC East. We got the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Over, under 47. Over. For some reason, I think this is going to be a close game. And when you get close games between division rivals, I do find these games tend to push towards over. I don't have a lot of science. Do we know if the Cowboys are going to show up? Do we know if the Cowboys are going to be physically prepared for this game? One thing I do know is I think this Eagles offense was created to attack this Cowboys defense. What do you want to do against the Cowboys defense? You run the ball right down their throat. You run it at Micah Parsons so he can't pin his ears back and pass rush you to oblivion. I think the Eagles run it well, and I think the boys will have something on offense. Is it going to be a lot? No, but I do think they're able to muster few good drives, 3 or 4 good drives. This is going over divisional. The Cowboys got to play good, man. At a certain point, they got to come out and play good in a big game. I think this is their opportunity. I'm going over the 47. Next game, Monday Night Football. We got the Los Angeles Chargers at the New York Jets. Over, under 40. I'm going under. I understand why there's a lot of chatter about the over in this game. But I think this is going to be about the Jets defense. And what we saw out of Zach Wilson last week, it shows we're not going to get a lot. Like, I think the Jets run it good. I like their offensive line matchup and running backs against this front seven of the Chargers and Brandon Staley. Yes, I do like that. But I really don't like what Zach Wilson is bringing into the table right now. As someone who watched that full game last week with Zach Wilson, I am cautious about him putting up points. But I'm also cautious about this Chargers offense. They just haven't got out of first gear this year, and I know they lose Mike Williams, and obviously that's going to hurt any offense. But I don't feel like Herbert's playing well. I don't like the play calling. We haven't seen Eckler have the big games of yesteryear, and I'm starting to question Brandon Staley. I'm starting to question the effort that this Chargers team brings. Give me the Jets defense. Give me the most consistent unit in this game. I'm going under 40. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Let's get this money. I appreciate all of you. Leave a comment. I'll be in the comment section.